too sure I was going to make it in today. I know I've got a bit of tidying up to do. But just going to have a quick look at this. I briefly spoke about this yesterday because I've got two the same, but they're different. There he goes again. Two the same but different. I've got two 43 Vestels with the same problem. One is a JVC, which I will look at. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be looking at it tonight. Oh, hello. Backlight issue. There's no picture. So I guess we are looking at a backlight issue. But we better plug it in first, and we plug it in for two reasons. One, to confirm what we call it the customer complaint, but of course this has been donated by, somebody I know, somebody that I've known from social media for quite some time, a guy called John Dunn. This belonged to his sister, I do believe. It stopped working a couple of weeks ago, and he said, I know a bloke that can use that. His sister's gone out and bought a new one, so he said, do I want it? So I said, yes. Comes with a remote control, no stand. And I was told no backlights. But the other reason why we have to plug it in, as I'm sure you remember, is that if you leave these TVs for a few days and plug them in, they stop working again. The backlight just makes contact, and that's what it is. It's a contact issue. We just have to clean up the contacts, put a fresh bit of tin, fresh bit of solder on, and everything starts behaving as it should. So, let me just switch to, is the back camera working? I haven't used a back camera in ages. Back cam. Ooh, I'm getting a picture of sorts. Yeah, that'll do if I switch the lights off. Right, let me plug it in and see if... Got a standby light. Just there. Is the back cam playing up? I'm not surprised, I haven't used it in ages. Bear with me. I'm just toggling the switch to bring it on. Oh, it's not coming on. Now it is. Needed pushing in. Normally, if it's a contact issue, the backlight's come on. Oh, the backlight has come on. But there's no picture. Oh, so we're looking at a main board or a teak, so they're not going to be the same issue. Okay. So that could be T-Con or main board. Well, we're getting a bit of information up there. That's I don't know if you see. Could you see that? Yeah. We're getting a bit of information. It's looking like a screen error now, to be honest with you. Anyway. We might as well take the back of it and have a quick look. But I now don't think this is going to be fixable. It's not the usual issue. But let's disassemble and see what we see. It's like I'm expecting a customer turning up. I had a phone call this morning from a young lady who was speaking in broken English, telling me that she'd got a 50-inch Series 6 Samsung, which is dead. And I got the impression she was going to bring it round this afternoon sometime. I tried to pinpoint a time from her, but unfortunately we couldn't communicate that well. So I said I'm waiting until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but I don't think she got that bit. And it's probably now, quarter past 3? Yeah. The thing is with these TVs and quite a few other TVs nowadays, the game has changed. If this is a screen issue, there's not much that I can use from the TV. It really is straight down the recycling centre. There's an image trying to be portrayed on the screen. I don't know if you saw it. Top left hand side, something's trying to get to it. Not hopeful with this one. Not hopeful, but let's see. It is 5 years old, coming up to being 6 years old. It doesn't look like a T-con issue. It looks like a screen issue, but I will, before I check any voltages, we'll just split the sides and see if that causes any difference. It's in standby. Likes being in standby, this TV. Loves being in standby. Oh yeah, we're getting even more lines now. You can probably just see them fading away. There they are. It's very strange, isn't it? So, not a T-con issue, not a main board issue. Pointless checking the voltages, they will be there. Let me just try the right hand side, see if we get half a pick. Vestels with screen issues, I have never... Has that gone back to standby? Yeah. Vestels with screen issues, I have never been able to get the picture back. Ooh, it flashed a bit there. That's pulsing. Can you see that? Wow, I've never seen that before. We got half and half. I don't think there's much I can do with this. I've just trapped off one of the 5 clock lines on one side, so we may get, I was going to say we may get an image on one side, but I've got a funny feeling probably not, and if we do it's going to be poor, but just not getting anything. But I don't know if the Polaroid don't usually have a splash screen. Ah, yeah, okay, so we're getting, you can't see. This side's come back to life, but poor, those lines. Again, I don't think it's going to be fixable. Sorry to be Mr. Negative. Well, let's be honest, it's not a case of being Mr. Negative, it's been a case of Mr. Honest. Most of these clock line faults you can't repair. There's a couple of Samsungs that seem to work, and there's some that you can get about 95%. Some of them work okay for a bit and then they fail later. A lot of people in the comments will say, well, these Asian guys we see on YouTube, they fix it. But what they don't show you is what happens 2 or 3 days later or 2 or 3 weeks later when the customer rings up and says, it's gone again, I'm not happy. So you've just got to be realistic, and I'm afraid these cannot be fixed. And this is technically the best I get it. But only on one side, and that's pretty pointless, really, isn't it? So thanks very much to John, who got in contact and donated the TV for the channel. Again, it would have been a nice loan set type thing if we could have got it working, but you never can on these Vestels. But I'll keep the power supply. I won't keep the main board, but I'll keep the power supply, and I don't think I'll even keep the backlights because it's just too much trouble to take the screen out to rip them off, and they may just get damaged. Because the backlights in these are very fragile and you've got to be so delicate taking them out, and brand new ones are, you know, not expensive. But it was worth having a go. I wanted to spend half an hour on it for a Sunday, and I did that. Well, actually, just a quick reminder, I've got the other 43. I said I've got two 43, so there's another 43 which is hopefully just going to be the backlight connection issue, but I'll send that up later on as well because I'll be looking at that tonight.